following program is brought to you in living color.
I walked through the damp, foggy streets, my mind swirling. So much content, so many podcasts. How do I find the best? Then it hit me, like a big blue neon sign flashing through the mist. Blueberry. All I had to do was drop the E's and go to blueberry.com. Blueberry, the digital media interface for consumers, creators, and advertisers.
Stay tuned for the Mausoleum of Death coming up next on most of these Behringer Broadcasting System stations.
Of all the rotting corpses in the caskets you see strewn about. Each casket contains the earthly remains of someone like you who wandered into the Mausoleum of Death and liked it so much they never left. Maybe you will like it that much, yes? We shall see. Step over here and bring that candle with you. Very good. Now, let's open this casket and see who it is. Oh, my, I know that face. Well, it used to be a face. That's Montague McCormick. He was quite the big shot once. A rich man who wasn't as rich as he wanted to be. As a result of his greed, he wasn't the nicest person in the world. In fact, those who knew him best believed he was rotten to the core. This is the best he's looked in years because Montague McCormick is the man who decomposed to death.
A beautiful 60-room mansion, beautiful women to cavort with, my own airplane, and a yacht. But it never seemed to be enough to satisfy me. Never enough.
Is there something wrong, sir?
When is there not something wrong, Ruggles? Have you seen tonight's newspaper?
No, sir. The alarming headlines about the war, they
distress me so?
I'm not talking about the war, you moron. I'm talking about the stock market. My portfolio took a major hit today when Adolf Hitler was photographed shaking hands with Hirohito while wearing a shoulder holster belt made by Luft Leather. And do you know who the majority stockholder of Luft Leather is, Ruggles?
You, sir?
No, it was me, blast it all. I am the majority shareholder, and as soon as that nosy know-it-all Walter Windshield reported that Hitler was sporting one of my shoulder holster belts, sales of Luft Leather products in the free world tanked. This photograph has cost me nearly $300,000.
Will you be wanting brandy in your tea tonight, sir?
Of course, you nitwit. Fetch it for me now.
Very good, sir. And I'll bring the afternoon mail with me when I return.
Oh, just throw it on the desk.
The tea and brandy, sir? Won't that make quite a mess?
You dunderhead! I meant the mail.
Very good, sir.
I watched him as he took my abuse in his customary aplomb. I hated him, but my mother made me promise to keep him as my gentleman's gentleman before she died. It was the only way she would leave me her vast fortune of $1 million. Me, her only son. I regret it took me so long to kill her with small portions of antifreeze in her nightly martini. And this fool is actually grateful to me. Everything I have is yours, sir. Everything that is mine is yours, he said as he swore allegiance and fealty to me upon my assumption to mastership of McCormick Manor.
Everything that's mine is yours.
Bah! What worldly goods does a butler have? A mere menial.
Your tea, sir, and the mail.
I told you to throw it on the desk. I meant the mail, you fool.
Terribly sorry, sir. I will clean it up at once.
See to it that you do. Let's see. Mail, bills, and more bills. Oh, and a letter for Ruggles. I'll give it to him when he comes back to clean up the mess he made. I ought to tear it up in his face, the oaf.
All finished, sir.
What?
All finished, sir. While you were engaged in your interior monologue, I cleaned up the spill.
Ah, well, good.
Some of what you said was hard to understand, giving the reverb, sir, but I believe you mentioned a letter for me.
Oh, did I?
Yes, sir, you did.
Do you think it might be this letter?
Well, that is my name on the envelope, sir, and it seems to have been mailed to me from England by the postmark and return address. I believe it comes from my great-aunt Penelope.
And I suppose you're keen to read this letter from your great-aunt Penelope.
Yes, sir.
Keen enough to drop to your knees and beg me?
Pardon, sir?
I didn't stutter, Ruggles. Either drop to your knees and beg me for this letter, or it goes directly into the fireplace. Ah, that's good.
May I have the letter, sir?
You call that begging? I've seen better begging from widows at a foreclosure. Beg for it.
Oh, please, sir, may I please have the letter, sir? Oh, it means life itself to me. If I could only have the letter, sir, please give me the letter. Oh, won't you, dear? Please give me the letter,
Oh,
please.
here,
please.
Ruggles, take the wretched letter. You sicken me.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Do you mind if I read it in here, sir, as this is the only room where there is a light to read by?
I'll give you 25 seconds, starting now.
Dear Chauncey, I regret to inform you as attorney for your great-aunt Penelope that she is matriculated from being your great-aunt to your late great aunt.
Died, did she? Oh, how unhappy for you.
There's more. Knowing how you've suffered at the hands of that avaricious Montague McCormick, your late great aunt has made you the sole beneficiary of her financial estate. Her entire fortune of $850,000 American dollars. Oh my goodness.
She left you $850,000?
Yes, sir, but worry not. Even though my net wealth is now greater than yours, I will be content to remain in your employ.
Tell me, Ruggles, Chauncey, you have life insurance, right?
No, sir, but I do have a will.
A will, you say?
Yes, sir, and you are my sole beneficiary. It's like I told you the day I started working for you. Everything that's mine is yours.
Such a good fellow. Everything that's yours is mine.
Yes, sir. May I ask why your long, bony fingers are surrounding my throat?
I intend to throttle you, Ruggles. Then all that money will be mine.
But, sir, you already know that everything that's mine is also yours.
Well, let's make sure of that, shall we? There. The deed is done. I'll have Matilda the charwoman call the local morticiary. We'll say he accidentally applied his tie too tightly. Say, why does my throat hurt?
Why, indeed. Could it be that Montague was a pain in the neck, not only to poor Ruggles, but to himself? We'll find out after these messages.
Spry with Cake Improver. Spry with Cake Improver. Spry means higher, richer, lighter, finer textured cake. Spry means easy, sure success with every cake you bake. Spry with Cake Improver. Spry with Cake Improver.
It's S-P-R-Y, Spry, and it's one bowl method for the most delicious cakes ever. For no other type shortening has Spry's marvelous Cake Improver. Try Spry.
Your best bet for hot breakfast is Quaker Oats. The giant of the cereals is Quaker Oats. Delicious, nutritious, makes you feel ambitious. The giant of the cereals is Quaker Oats. Yes, if you want to be a star in sports and school activities, make your hot cereal Quaker Oats. Because Quaker Oats helps grow the stars of the future. You get more growth, more endurance from oatmeal than from any other whole grain cereal. Remember, Quaker and Mother's Oats are the same.
And now, the Mausoleum of Death continues with Act 2 of the Man Decomposed to Death.
Montague McCormick, murderer. But no one suspected a thing. In fact, the only thing anyone remarked on at poor Ruggles' open casket viewing was how fresh he was for being dead 3 days and not embalmed.
Matilda, come here, girl.
Yes, sir.
Are you sure the mortician didn't slip a little formaldehyde into the old fellow there at the mortuary?
He said he didn't. Your orders, sir.
Yes, my orders. Why pay for an embalming when the worms will be feasting on him by this time tomorrow? Girl, why are you fanning yourself so furiously?
I don't know, sir. As I stood next to poor Chauncey's casket, I thought there'd be a terrible stench, as you didn't purchase any flowers to place around him. But
there was nothing but a hint of his favorite cologne and an ever so slight smile on his face. And I've never seen his cheeks so rosy and ruddy, but now that I come over here at your command, well...
Well, what?
Are you well, sir?
Other than being a bit gassy, I'm fine.
Pardon me for asking, sir. I know it's impertinent of me, but I do believe I did set out the proper items for your customary morning toilet, did I not?
Did you hear me complaining?
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. Lord help me if it costs me my situation to tell you this. You are giving off a malodorous air, sir. That's why I ask if you are well.
I told you I'm a bit gassy today.
That's not gas, sir. At least not the kind of gas you're talking about. That's the stink of death. On my oath, that's what it is, sir. And
Ooh, what?
Didn't you notice it just then?
Notice what, you silly wench? Say, what is that floating in my brandy Alexander? It looks like...
Your nose, sir. It fell off your face.
Quick! Direct me to the men's water closet so that I may avail myself...
Of the convenience, sir?
No, you idiot! Of the mirror! Matilda stood there, opening and closing her mouth when I remembered we were holding this wake in my own home, and I knew where the facilities were. I rushed into the water closet, noticing all along how stiff and wobbly my legs seemed to be. My knees were hard to move, and when I got to the mirror, I could not believe my eyes. I cannot believe my eyes. Well, I couldn't believe one of my eyes, the right one. The left one had fallen into the sink and plugged up the drain hole like a proper little stopper. It stared at me with a quizzical look, as if it was asking me how it ended up in the sink.
Everything that's mine is yours, sir. Everything that's mine is yours.
Including your post-mortem decomposition?
For a few more minutes, why, he's practically falling apart. It seems as if his gentleman's gentleman left him with something of a parting gift in the form of a curse. We'll have to see how much of Montague is left after these messages.
I'd like to say a few words about health. Over 50% of all family colds can be traced to uneven heat or overheating in the home. So protect your family's health by burning blue coal, America's finest anthracite. Then you will be sure of steady, lasting, healthful heat at less cost. The next time you order fuel, ask for blue coal by name. You don't have to get a full supply. Your nearest blue coal dealer will be glad to send you a trial ton. Phone him tomorrow.
Constipation can be a problem for anyone, even doctors. And when constipation occurs, it's interesting to see just what doctors consider important about a laxative they might use or recommend. Well, a majority of the doctors we heard from had this to say.
A laxative should be effective, gentle, close to natural acting. A medicine that can be used with complete confidence.
Now, X-Lax has been popular with many doctors and millions of people over the years because chocolated X-Lax is effective. Overnight, it helps you toward your normal regularity. X-Lax is so gentle, so close to natural acting, there's no upset. That's why many doctors and millions of people use X-Lax with complete confidence. X-Lax, the laxative that helps you toward your normal regularity, gently. Overnight.
edition of The Man Who Decomposed to Death on the Mausoleum of Death.
Poor Montague McCormick. His dead butler, who should be in an advanced stage of decomposition, was as fresh as the lily he was holding on his chest. But Monty? He was quite another thing altogether. Let's see if we can piece this together before, well, he falls apart completely.
I haven't seen any of the house staff in days. It seems as if they've all fled, and I can barely see through my bedroom window for all the flies on the other side of the glass trying to get into the room. This is Balderdash. How can I be decomposing? My heart is still beating. See? There it is, right behind my sternum. Here, let me pull some of this green slime out of the way. You can see it better. You would think that would be painful, but it isn't. It isn't. Maybe the staff was driven off by the smell. I can't smell a thing, not since my nose fell off. And yesterday, when my lower jaw fell into my bowl of cream of potato soup, I haven't had much of an appetite. I haven't eaten in days. No wonder I'm getting so bony. I did manage to get out of the bed this morning to attempt to answer the telephone device, but after taking a few shambling steps, my spine broke in the mid-lumbar area, and I fell in 2 pieces to the floor. Oh, make that 3 pieces. My skull feels as if it has rolled away from the rest of my mortal remains. Oh, but it's not all bad. There's one good thing. You know, the brain. The brain is incapable of feeling pain. Otherwise, these rats that made their way through my eye sockets into my brain pan, they'd be quite a bother. They seem to find me tasty. Rats like odd things, it seems. Thank goodness I can no longer hear the chewing sounds. Soon I believe all conscious thought will be gone. Just waiting for the rats to get to that part. Rat, Ruggles the rat. Everything he has is mine. Everything he has in mind, the things that are in mind are everything. Eating. They're eating and I'm getting confused. Eating, meeting, beating, sleeting on Chauncey, Wansey, Flunsey, and then...
And there in that casket is how they found Montague McCormick. Poor fellow, he just couldn't keep it together under stress. What's that? Leaving so soon? Aren't you going to stay with us? We're very quiet during daylight hours, but the nights are filled with stories here in the Mausoleum of Death. Do come back, though. Anytime at all.
You've been listening to the Mausoleum of Death on BBS, the Behringer Broadcasting System. The part of Montague McCormick was played by Elmer Waterford. Ruggles was performed by an up-and-coming film actor. You'll hear more of this gentleman, I have no doubt. Sidney Greenstreet. Maria, the charwoman, was played by the lovely Penelope Barringer, and the Mausoleum maintenance man was none other than yours truly, Falcon Barringer, who also humbly wrote and directed this episode. Join us next week for another spine-tingling episode of The Mausoleum of Death on this BBS radio station. This is the Barringer Broadcasting System.
You're listening to KBFS, the flagship station for the nationwide Barringer Broadcast System.
The Mausoleum of Death is the first in our new podcast series, Hard Boiled Radio. Old-time radio like it never was, but should have been. Episode written, produced, and copyright 2015 by Bill Schmofelt, all rights reserved. For more information, visit our website, www.hardboiledradio.com.
Blueberry. This podcast is a member of the Blueberry Network. Blueberry. No E's. That's Blueberry, BLUBRRY.com. Blueberry.com.